The pursuit of inner peace and personal transformation is a journey that resonates within every human being, often spurred by a sense of emptiness, disorientation, or a profound longing for something more. We inhabit a world that, despite its technological marvels and advancements, frequently leaves us disconnected from ourselves and from a greater purpose. The daily pressures, the uncertainties of the future, the wounds of the past, all of these can accumulate, obscuring the light residing within our souls and leaving us adrift on a sea of worries. It is in this landscape that many find themselves, questioning the meaning of their lives, feeling the weight of emotional burdens that seem insurmountable, and yearning for genuine solace, for a renewal that transcends superficial fixes. The experience of feeling ensnared in negative patterns, repeating the same mistakes, battling intrusive thoughts or feelings of inadequacy, is more common than is often openly admitted. There is a silent yearning for healing, for an awakening that will liberate us from the shackles that confine us and allow us to embrace the fullness of our potential. This moment that now commences is not merely another invitation to contemplation, but an invitation to a transformative experience, a profound immersion into the healing waters of faith and divine connection. This is not about a set of rules to be blindly followed, nor a promise of instantaneous miracles that erase all difficulties overnight. On the contrary, this is a path guided by the conviction that a superior, loving, and omnipotent force exists, ready to act in our lives, to mend what has been broken, and to bring light into our darkness, if only we open ourselves to this possibility. The proposal here is to explore the inherent power of soul-healing prayer, not as an isolated act, but as a continuous process of surrender and yielding to the divine will. It is an acknowledgement that, often, the solutions we desperately seek in the external world are in fact dormant within us, awaiting divine permission to manifest. What sets this approach apart is its relentless focus on internal transformation, on the profound restructuring of our very being from its roots. Rather than merely addressing the symptoms of our suffering, the anxiety that consumes us, the sorrow that paralyzes us, the rage that blinds us, we will seek the origin of these torments, the very point where our connection with the divine weakened or was severed. It is in this sacred space that true healing manifests, not through a mere palliative, but through complete redemption. Life, in its essence, is a gift, an invitation to exploration and growth. However, negative experiences, disillusionments, and emotional pains can distort our perception, leading us to believe that this abundance of life has been denied us. The proposition is to reverse this narrative, allowing the divine light to dissipate the shadows that have settled upon our spirits, rekindling the hope and joy that we often consider lost forever. The journey of inner healing, anchored in prayer and faith, is an invitation to deconstruct old limiting beliefs that prevent us from living fully. These are internalized convictions, often from childhood, that tell us we are not good enough, that we do not deserve love, that failure is our destiny. These beliefs operate on a subconscious level, shaping our actions, our relationships, and our self-image, creating a vicious cycle of self-sabotage. The prayer for soul healing acts as a powerful tool to identify and dismantle these negative thought structures, replacing them with divine truths that uplift and empower us. It is a process of deprogramming, where we allow the wisdom and love of God to rewrite our inner code, freeing us to experience life in its totality and beauty. By embarking on this exploration, you are taking a decisive step towards a more authentic and meaningful life. No matter how deep the wound may seem, how persistent the suffering, there is a promise of renewal awaiting your receptivity. This is not a solitary path. It is an invitation to align with a greater force, to allow divine love to act as a balm, a guide, and a transformer. The transformation we seek is not superficial. It is a profound metamorphosis, touching the very essence of our being, refashioning our hearts and minds with light and truth. The preparation to receive this healing has already begun with the simple fact that you are here, seeking answers and willing to open your heart to what is to come. Profound soul renewal transcends mere alleviation of fleeting symptoms. It manifests as an intrinsic reconfiguration of our perception of reality and our place within it. Rather than endeavoring to erase past scars, genuine healing teaches us to integrate them, transforming them into wellsprings of wisdom and compassion. Consider a farmer who, after a devastating storm, doesn't mourn the fallen trees, but recognizes the imperative to replant with stronger roots and soil, fortified to better withstand future adversities. Likewise, prayer for the soul empowers us to glean invaluable lessons from painful experiences, thereby fortifying our character and deepening our resilience. This integration occurs through an active process of reinterpretation, wherein a divine perspective allows us to discern the underlying purpose, even in the bleakest circumstances, apprehending them not as punishments, but as crucial crucibles for growth and spiritual refinement. The capacity to forgive, both oneself and others, stands as a foundational pillar in this process, liberating psychic energy previously ensnared in cycles of resentment and bitterness. Another vital facet of this transformation lies in the rediscovery and reinforcement of our inner voice, that intuitive whisper we often disregard amidst the incessant clamor of the external world and the demands of modern life. Cultivating this internal communication is akin to learning to heed a delicate melody that has always been present, but required external quietude to be fully perceived. This connection with intrinsic wisdom guides our decisions, shields us from errant paths, and aligns us with our loftiest life purpose. For instance, picture a gifted musician who, for years, has masterfully performed the compositions of others, but has never granted themselves permission to craft their own symphonies. Soul healing is that moment of self-authorization to compose one's own music, to express the originality and unique gifts that are innately theirs. Prayer here serves as an amplifier of this inner frequency, rendering it clearer and more dependable, thus allowing intuition to flourish and become a steadfast compass on our journey. Furthermore, soul healing prayer works to dismantle veils of illusion that obscure our inherent divine and loving nature. We often erect protective barriers around ourselves, a consequence of past experiences of vulnerability or betrayal, which ultimately sever our connection to the wellspring of strength and love residing within. This process of unveiling is a gradual undertaking, demanding courage to confront the shadows we cast and the fears that paralyze us. Consider a seed that, to germinate and reveal its inherent beauty, must break free from the shell that both safeguards and constrains it. Analogously, prayer encourages us to gently relinquish these self-imposed defenses, allowing divine light to permeate and nurture our spiritual growth. In this stripping away, we discover an unexpected resilience and a capacity for love, both giving and receiving, that transcends any perceived limitations. Finally, the expansion of consciousness, facilitated by prayer and faith, is a transformative element that propels us beyond egocentric preoccupations, towards a more expansive and compassionate worldview. In connecting with the divine, we realize our integral role within a grander tapestry, interconnected with all of creation. This comprehension broadens our horizons, diminishes the perceived magnitude of our personal struggles, and inspires us to engage with greater kindness and service towards others. Picture someone gazing at the ocean from a beach. Their individual concerns appear minuscule against the sheer immensity and depth before them. This expansion enables us to divest from an inordinate focus on our own needs and desires, creating space for empathy and for contributing to the collective well-being. This shift in perspective does not negate our individual requirements, but contextualizes them within a wider framework of interdependence and universal love, fostering an unprecedented sense of peace and belonging. The vibrational recalibration of the self is an often underestimated, yet profoundly significant aspect of soul healing. Every thought, every emotion, every belief emanates a distinct energetic frequency. When we are mired in patterns of negativity, doubt, or fear, our vibrational signature becomes dense, resonating with similar low-frequency experiences. Earnest prayer, undertaken with sincerity and genuine intent, acts as a potent transmitter, elevating this frequency. This is not about negating the reality of challenges, but rather about consciously choosing to align our energy with light, love, and hope, even amidst tempestuous circumstances. Think of it as tuning a radio to a clear, uplifting station, rather than remaining tuned to one rife with static and incessant noise. This subtle yet profound alteration in personal resonance not only attracts more auspicious circumstances, but also influences how we perceive and interact with the world, unveiling pathways that were previously imperceptible. Furthermore, prayer as a practice